Hi, some thoughts for today, the third Sunday of Lent. Are you sitting comfortably? Okay, so here's a quote from Michael Wolff's book, Fire and Fury Inside the Trump White House. Wolff writes, "The essence of Bannonism and Mercerism was a radical isolationism, a protean protectionism, and a determined Keynesianism. Bannon ascribed these principles to Trumpism, and they ran as counter to republicanism as it was perhaps possible to get." So now you know, or don't know, as the case may be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 isms in those 2 short sentences, which make it way too many for my liking and my feeble understanding. Once a disciple complained about the master's habit of knocking down all his cherished beliefs. Said the master, "I set fire to the temple of your beliefs, for when it is destroyed, you will have an unimpeded view of the vast, unbounded sky." There is one thing that we humans are good at, and that is collecting things. Something attracts us for one reason or another, and suddenly, before we know it, we are avid collectors. It is something we do both consciously and subconsciously. How many isms do you belong to? How many isms have you collected over the years? For we collect them, all of them, cherished beliefs that become isms. What do we have in our collection? Capitalism, communism, feminism, ageism, liberalism, authoritarianism, Catholicism, Protestantism, sectarianism, patriotism, nationalism, racism, populism. The list is endless, and I guess you can add more to that brief list. The trouble is that the ism can take over our whole way of living and thinking. They can turn into prejudices to be defended at all costs. Doubts or questions appear when we say, "I'm not a racist, but a patriot, but I did want England to knock 9 bells out of France. I'm a feminist, but I do like the door being opened for me. I do say the rosary. Does that make me a bad Protestant?" Somehow these isms become another brick in the wall, which we build around ourselves. It was into these isms of his day that Judaism decorated Pharisaism, Sadduceeism, that Jesus strode with his whip of cords and started throwing people out and the tables about. He was annoyed that people's access to God was being impeded by a nasty consumerism leading to isolationism. He then spoke about dismantling every brick in the wall, however mighty and beautiful they were. The onlookers would have been both confused and shocked. They would have said, "Hey, what are you doing? We've not broken any law that Moses handed down to us." To which Jesus could have replied, "And you haven't kept them either." So we see Jesus today in aggressive mode. And perhaps we find this a bit disturbing, especially as we more often than not associate aggression with destruction, and so has a negative edge to it. Perhaps it can be constructive. The word aggressive comes from the Latin root aggredi, which means to go forward, to approach, to move against. Constructive aggression means taking the initiative to support what is just and important. It means working in a hostile environment against the power that devalues your beliefs. A good example of constructive aggression can be seen in the effective campaign against slavery. The abolitionists were not content to just assert their values. They moved against the authorities that protected slave trading. They risked their lives when they confronted angry mobs, but their belief was strengthened by the fierce opposition that they faced. One of the prominent leaders was William Lloyd Garrison. He wrote about the subject of slavery. "On this subject, I do not wish to think or speak or write in moderation. No, no. Tell a man whose house is on fire to give a moderate alarm. Tell the mother to gradually extricate her babe from the fire. But urge me not to use moderation in a cause like the present. I am in earnest. I will not equivocate. I will not excuse. I will not retreat a single inch. The apathy of the people is enough to make every statue leap from its pedestal. We can see in so many places around the world where the hardening of ideas into isms causes so much pain, so much division, and so much bitterness. As arguments fly, so the walls between us get higher, and the chance for connection and contact fades away. Jesus, throughout his life, sought to challenge those isms, to challenge ways of thinking that have become prison bars, locking hearts in and keeping hearts out. Another ism is baptism. This ism is one with no walls. At our baptism, we were not made an Anglican or Catholic, but become part of the family of God in Jesus. No walls, no divisions. Perhaps we need the good Lord to help us dismantle our isms, help us to think and see in a new way, so that we have an unimpeded view of the vast, unbounded love in Jesus. So keep well, keep safe, and God bless.
Another brick in the wall.
Good one, good one.
You got enough isms in there, Dad?
I think so.
I think so.
I think so.